name is Romesh Japra. I was just asked to go through my journey, and when they asked me, what Sai and Meena, I wasn't sure. People, especially the youngsters, will get something out of this because it's something that's very boring, going through your rating your journey, what you've gone through, and everything else. But after I looked at the topic, and especially make a difference, touch a life, then you make a difference. A lot of us, even in our Shastra says, as an individual, you have to excel. Like you said, get scholarship, get to training, to careers, and everything else. They excel in it, of course, help your family. But the real difference you make it when you do it for your community or the society at large. That is when you really make a difference. And especially on a kindness day, if you not only just giving, and just some donation, some money, but also in kind, you can give something, be compassionate, and again make a difference to someone else, somebody who's underprivileged, somebody who's a needy out there. That is again making a difference out there. So going through my journey probably can take a long, but what I'm going to do is just pick up few of the spots where I think some of the youngsters here can pick something and then hopefully get a little inspired to do something in their lives, not only just excelling themselves as individuals, not just doing things for their family and for their friends and immediate extended family, but also society at large. A lot of people ask me, now that how we can emulate what you've been able to do last 30 or 40 years. I usually tell them, some of these people are now at my age or my contemporaries. Sometimes it's very difficult to tell those people how to go about it because then you have to go back 30 years and that time you don't think about these things and in those lines. And especially the youngsters are here at the very beginning. I want to tell them start early. It's very important when you're youngsters. It's very easy to say, okay, let me finish my study, let me finish my career, let me make some extra money, and then after I'm content, satisfied, only then I can give it to somebody else, or I can give my time to somebody else. Unfortunately, something or the other keeps coming up, even when you get 80 years old or 85 years old, your grandkid has a problem, or somebody's getting married, somebody's going to have a great grandkid. So things never finish out there. So you have to start early. When I was in my mid 20s and became a cardiologist, I decided at that time, divide my time in three ways: 1/3 for my profession, 1/3 for my family, and 1/3 for the community. Sometimes it's very difficult to juggle it around. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be exactly 33.3% everywhere. It can be a little less, a little more, depending on the needs out there and how excited you get. But as long as you keep that in the back of your mind and go about it, and don't think, I really want to become a rich person. I want to really become a top-notch cardiologist, just like Dr. Anand want to be a Stanford professor out there and be well-known out there. And, or, out there that, okay, I want to be Vivekanand Swami or somebody else, who really want to preach the world. So if you keep the balance, you could become any one of those. That is the destiny, that's a fortune, and we wish many of them can excel in one thing, which will really make the difference, even a lot more difference in the world. But in my case, in my journey, that's what I decided, and that's where we started. And sometimes the opportunities come, the needs come, and then things change. So you got to be flexible. You got to be always available when the need arises. And after, luckily I was fortunate to go to, coming from a very small village in Punjab called Pashta. We had only 400 people in that village, and going all the way to AIMS, All India Institute of Medical Sciences, for my MBBS, And then we were able to come here, go to Mount Sinai, New York, and then go to Cleveland Clinic, the premier institute in cardiology, didn't do my cardiology, and come to here, city of Fremont. And the very first need we thought was there was no temple. You know, there are a couple of dozen of us over there in late 70s and early 80s, and we had to go to the churches to pray, to do our things. Half my family are Sikhs and half Hindus, and then there was no Gurdwara, there was no temple, there was no, so we had to go to the churches, and they won't let us come on Sundays. They said, okay, you can use other days, and we were all busy those days. And so some of these people came to me. They said, you have the influence, the only doctor around here, so it can help us out. And fortunately, the mayor was my patient. He was a heart patient those days in 80s. And I asked him either, but this Hare Rama, Hare Krishna movement going on, there's this hippie movement goes on, Indiana Jones, where they're showing, the Hindus eating brains and things like that in that movie. So wherever we went, they thought of, we're here to convert these people, the local people, so they will not give us a temple. So I want to give these little anecdotal incidents, but make it interesting and really make the point across how much struggle you have to sometimes go through, and that you outshine through those. That's going to make a bigger difference if everything is a smooth sailing. So it's never going to be a smooth sailing, even in when you want to do charity work or when you do the community work. Things can be very rough and tough, and that's what really is going to get you the challenge, get you stronger, more resilient, and more powerful, and you're going to probably achieve a lot more success. So everywhere we went, even he tried, he could not get us a permit. And finally, there was a Seventh-day Adventist church right here in the city of Fremont, where we said, okay, I'm going to get them a bigger church to buy this church. So we bought that for $400,000, made a temple out of it. I put my $10,000, collected $70,000 in one evening. We did Ras Garba, Bhangra, and everything. I said, okay, let's collect this money, 70,000, 80,000 down payment. Then the bank won't give us a loan. They said, oh, you guys are new, you won't be able to pay your mortgage and this and that. So 10 of us put our houses as collaterals, got the temple. Fortunately, things started moving very well. Since then, we have seen that now from few dozen of us. Now, out of 250,000 people, 38% are Indian Americans. Almost 100,000 people right here in the city of Fremont are our community who's living here. And we were just 3 doctors in Washington Hospital. Now, out of 300, we have 200 Indian doctors who are serving in this community. So, those things did make a difference. Now we have a temple, we have a Gurdwara, we have a mosque, and of course, some of the Indian churches. So everything is around us. The community is flourishing, and you folks know the history. So in the beginning, also our children used to say, okay, on the blackboard they'll write, oh, go back to India, don't do this to the brown people, black people, all kind of things. And we started, the other social classes in the temple itself, was not a religious and spiritual center. We made it a cultural center as well, a social culture center as well. So we started teaching all kind of classes and getting them stronger. And later on, even we started Festival of India, which we called in 1993, about 31 years ago. That is another story where we were, like 2,000 people just like this. In Fairmont Hotel, we used to have these conferences between the parents and the children, because what I said earlier, with all kind of discrimination going on, and growing up in 2 cultures, people, whether they should date or not, having sex before marriage, things like that. All those things we were teaching them, even to pulling up their careers. And there was a little demonstration outside Fairmont Hotel, and a San Jose Mercury on the front page itself put a picture of about 9 or 10 Pakistanis, and the headline was, the poor Sikhs asking for their homeland, protesting for their homeland, while rich Hindus feasting inside the 5-star hotel. So, that was a story. I think somebody else earlier mentioned here also, that's how they sell their newspaper. That's how they, and I, along with about 11 other people, went to the publisher. I still remember his name, Jack Smith. And I said, what we were doing inside, I showed him the agenda and everything. And this is the story. You did not even mention one word about us, what we were doing inside. We have a non-profit organization. Looked at it, it looks beautiful, great. This is good for the newsletter, not for my newspaper. I need something sensational. So that is what was happening outside. This is what we published. So said, yourself, I used to run this newspaper, India Post, which I still run, the publisher. But I said that makes sense. The newspaper has to have something more sensational than the real stories, which you can't publish. But anyway, while we were leaving, I went back to him. He said, I said, what would you do if you were us? Or you were me? I'm the chairman of the founder of this organization. So he said, I'll get the hell out of that five-star hotel and do something outside. And that was the next year, 1993, we started India Day Parade, the Festival of Globe, and Asha Parekh, she was our first Grand Marshal. After that, Amitabh Bachchan, everybody came. 5,000 people we had together. It has grown up to 100,000 people, even more than 100,000. So for the last 31 years, we've been hosting that. So that is a culture empowerment. Now the thousands of children participate. They learn their culture, their philosophy, our values, our ideology, who we are. We're proud of their heritage. So we showcase that not to only our children, but to the rest of the world out here, mainstream Americans. So they learn exactly who we are, what we eat, what we do. And of course, this IT world, all you people, many of you are experts in that and have changed the whole world, changed the momentum. So like Anand, our scientists and our researchers, our doctors, even our businessmen, even people who run 7-Eleven, our truck drivers, they have made a difference in this country, have contributed a lot. So we are proud of that. We are now celebrating Hindu Heritage Month every month here. The city of Fremont even hoisted a flag, the Diwali Day flag, which has never happened anywhere in the world. In India, it doesn't happen, but we have a Diwali Day flag hoisted right here. And it's going to be every year, it's become a permanent thing. So we have come a long way, and we are proud of what we do. This is more or less how we've been able to empower ourselves religiously, culturally, spiritually, economically. You folks have done it, and socially, made this social impact. The people are out there giving everything. The last little stunt which we are doing now is the political empowerment, because what we have noticed happening in Middle East, Far East, Indonesia, or Fiji Islands, and everywhere, Uganda, that if you are politically not strong, all these things can be dismantled. You can be thrown out of the countries. Your temples can be down. Your gurdwaras can be down. Everything can be taken, dismantled in no time. And all this hard work you folks are doing as non-profits and as kind people, as charitable people, can be thrown away unless you are politically strong. So we have started this Hindu, Sikh, Buddhist, and Jain caucus in Washington D.C. just this last June, especially after 403 SB. What happened here, and I want to go into the details. As you know, that we were totally thrown off, and it sailed to the Assembly, Senate, and fortunately, finally, Governor Gavin Newsom vetoed it, and we just dodged the bullet. So we were able to save that, and now we don't want this thing to happen at the federal level. Somebody, no more Shida Talib or somebody comes and put the same bill out there, just like our Senator Aisha Wahab did it over here in our own area. So we have made this, and we have 27 congressmen who are part of this. And some of you, if you want to learn about it, they can reach me out there. I know my time is up. I thought it was going to be a lot more. So I'm going to stop right over here. If there are any questions, you can ask me. Otherwise, this is something which political empowerment as well to complement this religious, spiritual, social, cultural, and economic empowerment.
Thank you.